about 2/3 of the way through May, and here's an update on mango season. As you might recall, Rosa, which is this tree, started off mango season for us. We had a lot of fruit on this tree, and right now if you look very carefully you can see a few fruit, but basically this tree is pretty much done for the year. Here's one of our Namdok Mai trees. As you can see, there's a lot of fruit on the tree, and we have picked some Namdok Mai fruit, but it's going to be much better in a couple weeks. This is one of our 2 Bailey's marble trees, and I just noticed this one gorgeous fruit ready to pick. Now most of the fruit on this tree and the other tree is not ready to pick yet. It's probably several weeks away in some cases, but this is the star performer, so I'll pick it right now. Just a gorgeous fruit. This is Seacrest. We just started picking some fruit from this tree for the first time, and some of this fruit might be ready within a week, and there's other fruit that are, some of it's more than a month away. So anyway, good news for Seacrest. This is fruit punch. It's one of our top work trees. It used to be Florian, now it's fruit punch, and it has a lot of beautiful fruit on it. This is the first year that this tree has had fruit, and it looks gorgeous in part because the branches were going straight up into the air until those heavy fruit just sort of pulled them over, so it really looks nice now. So here are a couple of our Glen trees. They're sort of growing into each other. We've been picking from these trees for about a week, and we've gotten a lot of fruit, but as you can tell, there's still a lot of fruit on the tree. But Glen's a mango variety with a very short season, so in another week or two we might be completely out of Glen. Here's one of our many cherry trees. It's a nice looking tree, and of course it's especially nice looking when there's fruit all over the place. And actually, with some of our cherry trees, we've found a few fruit that has been ready to pick. This particular side of this tree, it looks like all this fruit needs to grow some more. So basically what we're expecting is for next week we'll find more fruit, more cherry fruit than this past week, and then the week after that it'll be even better, and that trend should continue for, probably 3 or 4 weeks before we start having fewer fruit than the week before. But looks like a good cherry season in general. This is one of our Duncan trees. The fruit just sort of hang in clusters. It's a rather productive variety, but right now the fruit are not ready to pick. When they are ready, they turn yellow, and all of these are still green. So I'm guessing that this fruit, Duncan's season will begin in earnest in like 3 weeks. Best guess. This is Zil mango here. It had an unfortunate circumstances, too much fruit on a branch, which broke the branch, and now we have this branch here propped up. But we've actually found a few Zil fruit that have been ready to pick, so it seems like we can say that Zil season has begun. It looks like it's going to continue for about 3 weeks. This is one of our lemon meringue trees, or popu clay, and it has a lot of fruit up here that are green. We've actually started picking some lemon meringue, and it looks like we'll continue picking it for many weeks. Right here is a growth flush, which of course that means there's no fruit in this area of the tree. So a lot of people have been asking about Bombay. There's a lot of Bombay fans out there. It's a very nice fruit, but I think that The number of customers that we have that want to purchase Bombay mangoes exceeds the number of Bombay mangoes that we'll have this year. As you can tell, most of the tree is in a growth flush, which means it doesn't have fruit on it. And we just have this one little area here that has fruit. Here's one of our cogswall trees. We actually have started picking cogswall, but mostly from a tree in another part of the grove. For some reason, that tree is on a different schedule. These trees look like most of the fruit is probably 2-3 weeks away from being ripe. This is our Edgar tree. It used to be Florigon, now it's mostly Edgar. And we have quite a bit of fruit on it, and this is the first time that we've had Edgar anywhere in the grove. So when I look at this fruit, I think, I don't know when it's going to be ready. It's ready when it's ready. I'll know a full ripe fruit or ripening fruit when I see it, but I just am not familiar with this variety yet, so we'll learn together. So here is a situation where we have Juliet and Julie. And I top worked part of this Hayden tree so that this side is Juliet and this side is Julie. You can see there's a difference in leaves, the color and the shape of the leaves, but now it's really easy to tell because the fruit looks significantly different. So we've been picking Julie here for a couple weeks, and all of this area used to have a lot of fruit. It still has some fruit, but we are definitely more than halfway through the season of Julie. But interestingly, Juliet, which is a cross between Julie and Gary, we have not picked the first one of these fruit at all. So here's an opportunity to get a lot of the Julie flavor after the Julie mango is gone. If you're a Julie customer and sad that the Julie season is coming to an end, there's hope. Because right here is Graham. It's a seedling of Julie, has a lot of the same flavors. It's a bigger fruit and a later season. So we have a lot of fruit on this tree, and it's not going to be ready for probably a month. This is one of our coconut cream trees, and it looks like a pretty good year for coconut cream. This is a popular mango. It's a Edward Gary cross, and the fruit do get bigger, get a little bit larger than this. From looking at the different fruit around the grove of the coconut cream, it looks like we might get our first fruit in a couple weeks, and then our season for coconut cream should continue for at least 4 weeks after that. We're looking forward to a good crop from most of our trees this year, but here's a little sad information. Behind me is our major turpentine tree, or stringy mango. It's a juice mango that's very popular, and also people buy it just for seed too. It's a common rootstock. Well, this tree and our other very old turpentine tree on the other side of the property have pretty much the same story going on. There's just no fruit except for one little cluster over here. This tree normally makes thousands of fruit, and it looks like what fruit it is producing isn't going to be normal. I've looked at the other tree and it looks like possibly 150 fruit, which is really not that much when you're looking at little small mangoes like that. Sorry to disappoint you this year, but turpentine or stringy mango is just not happening. This is one of our 2 dwarf Hawaiian trees, and there's less than 25% of the fruit remaining on either tree. Both trees were just loaded, and now you still see fruit. It's a very productive variety, but we're really at the end of the season for this particular tree and the one next to it. I would say within the next week, maybe slightly more, all of this fruit will be picked. And it doesn't look like we'll have another crop this year. Sometimes this variety will actually give us 2 crops, but this year it looks like 1 and done. So we tried to give you a little snapshot of what's going on around the grove. At Truly Tropical, we often get really early mangoes, earlier than other groves around Florida anyway. So we grow a crazy amount of mango varieties, and some of those varieties are very early. And so we've shown you some of the varieties that are almost finished fruiting, some that are just starting, and some that we still have to be patient for, but not that patient. I am actually standing right in front of Venus. Over here is Beverly. Both Venus and Beverly are late season varieties, or at least that's what their reputation is. But I'm looking at some of this fruit and it looks like it's a couple weeks away. Also, same story for Beverly. So here in South Florida at Truly Tropical, we have late season fruit that is just a few weeks away, when some other groves haven't had the first ripe fruit. So it's pretty crazy. We'll just see how this mango season plays out. I mean, we have a lot of mangoes hanging on the trees, and so we're looking forward to a good season. It's just the timing of the season might be a little bit different. In the past, sometimes we've had 2 crops on the same trees. I don't see much evidence of that this year, but we do have a lot of mangoes, and it should continue to build. Probably peak season is going to be toward the end of June.